I've been very busy the last few weeks, so I was very delayed on my lot of my Jackass reviews. But to be honest, we don't have another one coming out till February, and I just want to have this all out by February, so I can kind of take my time with this series, which is kind of why I started doing it now. But this part three is where the franchise starts getting really good because, well, first off, there's a couple things to know. There are two versions of this movie. There is the theatrical cut and director's cut. Now, I've never seen the theatrical cut because I just chose to watch the director's cut. Because why not watch the director's cut? Because I haven't seen both versions, so I don't know what the difference is. I have a theory of what the difference is, which is that like Beavis and Butthead come at the beginning, I think it has a different opening, but I don't know. I didn't check, but I'm just noting that. Which I really enjoyed that intro. Here's the thing. This is where the franchise started getting good because, like, the history of this franchise was that it was a TV show on MTV, got really big, and then they made it into movies, which are insanely fun to watch. But I'll just tell you this. Part one really felt like a made-for-TV movie. Just like an episode of the TV show that was extended very long. And that's how that feels. Part two, a little bit better than that, but still very much felt like that. Part 2.5 is a different thing in itself, so we're not even going to include this in the conversation. But part 3 is where the budget got really big because this franchise had gotten insanely popular through those first 3 movies. And also part of these guys' shtick is that they're always trying to top each other, and why not do that on a bigger budget theatrical scale, which is what they did in this movie. And that's what makes this movie so good and so funny. I think this is the best of the franchise so far. And we don't really have like a part 4. We're getting a part 4 in February, but this is like the peak of the franchise is part 3 here. And then also we have Bad Grandpa, and then we have 3.5. But those are like different things. Those aren't like what this is. And so as this piece of the franchise, I think the stunts here are the greatest of the entire franchise. Some of the funniest ones. The humor here through those stunts are just like laugh out loud, constantly funny. This is the one where, I mean, not to say I wasn't engaged in part 1 and part 2, but this is the one where I was the most engaged in what's happening throughout the entire film. Because everything in this film is funny. Like, with the other two, I'm like listing a few things I thought were really funny. This one, I can list a bunch of things. It is so incredibly great. And if you like this sort of concept and you want to see it really well done in a movie, this is something you gotta watch. Because, I know people might say this stuff is a little ridiculous. And you're right. But you really need to think about it. They warn you for a reason that these kind of things are done by professionals. These people are really getting hurt and doing dangerous things. And sure, they're doing it, and you could say, well, yeah, but they're just doing it for our entertainment. But it's still impressive what they're able to do, even though it's backfiring in their face. But it's incredibly well done stuff. And it's brilliant. And I think this is a great movie. Just a great movie. Like, it's a great time for what kind of movie this is. Fantastic.